Rest in peace, Teeth. You don't want no lead, you ain't on these hoes. You ain't tryna stack that money up till it can't fold. You ain't bout that guala, you ain't on your grind. You ain't bout that action homes when it's crunch time. You don't want no lead, you ain't on these hoes. You ain't tryna stack that money up till it can't fold. You ain't bout that guala, you ain't on your grind. You ain't bout that action homes when it's crunch time. Well, you don't want no lead, you ain't bout them chips. You ain't the type to sit on them sixes, the Mac gloss lips. You ain't got no bricks, you ain't sold that shit. You ain't got no plug, you don't work your wrist. You don't know how to hold that Pyrex with no hand to dish. You don't get that 36 flip and get a brand these dips. And you don't work these hoes, you don't like your gold. You don't bless your folks, you ain't out here trying to scold. You ain't anti-save a hoe, anti-cake a hoe. You ain't on that line with big smoke coming out your nose. You don't know me go, and he don't know you either, hoe. You ain't bout that dough, he ain't gon' throw you that snow. You don't want no lead, you ain't on these hoes. You ain't tryna stack that money up till it can't fold. You ain't bout that guala, you ain't on your grind. You ain't bout that action homes when it's crunch time. You don't want no lead, you ain't on these hoes. You ain't tryna stack that money up till it can't fold. You ain't bout that guala, you ain't on your grind. You ain't bout that action homes when it's crunch time. You don't want no lead, you ain't on your grind. You don't let them diamonds shine, you don't blow these hoes mind. You ain't playing fair, you ain't no real player. You don't take a square press and get an extra pair. You don't love your hood, you ain't off that main. You don't rep your city, you ain't out here having things. You ain't turned up, you ain't swagged out. You ain't fresh to death, walk around with the tag tag. You don't got them bands, you don't get that guap. You ain't hot, you don't lean that pot until it lock. You ain't tryna shop, you ain't out here boosting stock. You don't know how I feel to go from the bottom to the top. You don't want no lead, you ain't on these hoes. You ain't tryna stack that money up till it can't fold. You ain't bout that guala, you ain't on your grind. You ain't bout that action homes when it's crunch time. You don't want no lead, you ain't on these hoes. You ain't tryna stack that money up till it can't fold. You ain't bout that guala, you ain't on your grind. You ain't bout that action homes when it's crunch time.